Hey everyone, I'm going to be putting in oh, a Tremolo Stabilizer. I had just blocked this guitar to dive only. For once in my life, I'd been running fully floating Floyds. So that's some alliteration right there. But I'm just tired of the tuning instability. But I used to be a big fan of like the trem setter, and I know I got a lot of you guys to try out the back box, the Geldo back box. There's so many of these things on the internet now. It used to be really hard to get to it, and as bad as all this Chinese problems have been, um, what's cool about it is a lot of these things that were really hard to get your hands on are now pretty much available. I'm gonna put uh, there's a website that used to have all this stuff on here. It's Joe Maker or something like that. Uh, Last word in tremolo stabilization. Let's see. Oh, here's some. Yeah, I'll probably have to watch a video on this thing. One of the things that came up recently is Steve Vai had one of these backstop things, I think, in a video lately. So here's one version of it. This is a single, and this one has a ball bearing in the end, which I think is probably a pretty good idea. I'm not sure how it's going to work in practice. ESP guitars used to have these things. Where is it? Last word. Yeah, I can't type right now. Sorry, this thing's really far away. Oh, here it is, right here. So this guy has, here's the tremolo, here's the backstop, here's the ESP version, here's the old Ibanez one, I think. They're all pretty much the same. So the ESP arming adjuster. See, there's a dual version. I have one of these on order that's a dual version of this. I used to run the back boxes. I like that this has the ball bearing in it. So we're going to see how this works. It was way cheaper, but it's they keep changing the order time, so it's still a couple weeks out, I think. What's the WD one? What the hell did they ever do? Oh yeah, I tried this one. It didn't really seem very good. Not to me anyway. Of course, I used to push the trem setter all the time, right? What does Floyd Rose have? Ooh, I never even seen this one. Interesting. When was there the AK-47 of tremolo stabilizers? Does it work? Uh, you know, I will give this a try. This is interesting. Um, yeah, very interesting. I haven't I don't even know about this one. So this is the closest one to what I got here, the Ibanez backstop. And let me pull this out. Oh, also, I don't know if you can see these. Let me get rid of the right monitor. I'm giving this Joyo a try. I still haven't heard back from Line 6. I finally got a chance to try out with my Relay G50, and I was rewarded with a blank. It's a yellow screen, so it lit up, and it actually passes signal. It's a blank screen. I can't change anything, and that was a really expensive thing. These are $30. If this works, I don't want to buy any of these $1 million wirelesses ever anymore. Like, this is so convenient. You don't even use a pouch. You just plug it right into your guitar. Man, that's awesome. We'll see if that works. But so this is what I got here, and this is from a company called Alnikov, and there's a bunch of these on Amazon. And for the longest time, it was impossible to get these things. There's all these stupid IP troll lawsuits and stuff, so nobody can actually build anything. Like, remember the auto latch from Kaler, right? We don't have that anymore thanks to all these IP thugs. And these were also, it seemed like there was some kind of lawsuit thing going on with this. So, but the Chinese don't care. they'll still they'll put them out, lawsuit or no lawsuit. And you know, once you do build something in China, it's kind of fair game. They let everybody else who buys from them have the information. They'll build you whatever. Once it's built, it's built. So so here it is. It's got 3 screws. There's not much in this package. This little thing right here. I don't know if I have springs. See how this works. So I'm not super sure how this works. We might have to watch a video on this. But I had the single version of these a lot, and they worked okay. Actually, they worked really good, but I was looking for more than they're really meant to offer. But now that I see this thing in the back of Steve Vai's guitar, I mean, that's a guy who uses a lot of tremolo, right? So let's see how this works. So he's got this version that's on the screen here, this Ibanez backstop one. Whereas this one's a little bit different, but not by much. Yeah, so on eBay it's like $200 a piece. I got this thing for, I think this one's like $40. Yeah, much better deal. So like $40. Okay, remember I'm putting the tremolo cavity springs and the strings in this thing. Oh, I finally got myself a spring claw. Holy crap, man. I don't know if this one's gonna work because it's a little bit big. This is made for like cars and stuff. But we're gonna see if this actually works. So let me just get this apart. And I'm super hungry. I need to eat, but we're gonna go through some of this. I'm gonna watch maybe we'll watch a video. How about that? And please don't DMCA me. This is hopefully it's gonna be transformative. Or can we even do like watch parties or something? Can we?
New from the Big Island tonight.
Sorry about that. That's not meant to play. I had a little bit of trouble with some pigs yesterday, and hopefully we'll fix that. Backstop tremolo installation. Maybe somebody will have it. That's not a backstop. See, this is the Steve Vai video everybody's talking about where you can see a thing in there. Backstop. Yeah, see this one right here? Man, there's all these nice ones out there right now. There's Tremery. What is that one? Here's the arming adjuster. Oh yeah, I gotta work on my free coaster today too. Sorry. Woo! All right, so I'm not really seeing anything here. See the guy got on a short. I don't know. Okay, let's. I was assuming there'd be videos of this, but maybe not. So the one I got. Well, one of the ones I got is this guy. So this guy right here. I think it has some. People are complaining about the lack of documentation. I swear I found some documentation on these things before. Like, look at this Changlish, man. Remain your guitar in tune. Yeah, remain my guitar in tune. Thank you very much. Okay, so setup. So here's the setup. But I swear there's some pictures. Yeah, right here. Okay. So how do you do it? Greatly remain guitar in tune. Yeah, greatly remain that guitar in tune. Okay, so step 1, take off your back plate. I think I can handle that part. Let's see, we're almost there. And maybe I should just get a, electric screwdriver one of these days. Remain calm. Okay. So here you can see I'd put my dive only mod on here. And I was using this with some Velcro to use to dampen the smack. I always thought that these dampeners would ruin the ability for these things to work. This site's saying to use beeswax. And do I have beeswax? Hold on, let's see. I gotta eat though, you guys. Remind me, I gotta take some bites here real quick. Times had steak plate today. Well, I know I had some beeswax someplace. Oh, here it is, right here. So they're saying to use beeswax on the tremolo. I could try that, but Let's just see. Oh, look at that. That spring wasn't even in all the way. Wow. Hold on. Maybe you guys can see this. I know it's like not the best camera. If you want, yeah, send me a much better camera. I'll promise I'll use it. Let's take these springs off for now. The trouble is I knew exactly where this thing was with the springs, so. Ow! It got me. Woo! All right. So I got to get this guy out of here, which is going to be unfun due to this lock nut here. Let's see if I can get this loose. This is not the tool to use on a lock nut. Let me tell you. Okay, so that didn't work. I have a wrench that's actually this size somewhere. Oh, I got a miniature crescent wrench. Let me try that. And where did I put my miniature crescent wrench? I just had it. Crap. I'll try some pliers maybe. I don't know if they'll fit in here. I probably should use some other glasses too. This don't really do me any good. Okay. So I actually have the right wrench and a crescent wrench up here that would work for this perfectly, but I don't. Oh, here's the crescent wrench right here. Okay, perfect. Nice. Oh, of course the spinner's not spinning. Great. What brand are you so I don't buy you again? Which way am I going here? Yep, there we go. Hey man, when you ask, they often send, so that's why I always ask. Just ask. You know the gear, the interface manufacturers don't even hesitate, man. All right, looks like I'm gonna need some Allen wrenches. It's just that guitar kit I bought that was had a lot of stuff. I actually pulled a lot of junk out of here. It actually had a lot of stuff that I wouldn't really be using. Go. Kind of hot glue gun this so that these pieces won't fall out. I'm always using that hot glue gun. I'm sorry. My favorite tool. Ugh, but I can't get my Allen wrenches out. That'll teach me. Stab myself if I do this wrong. What's a Pia? I don't know what that is. Holy crap. Oh, there we go. Watch this thing gonna be the right Allen wrench. All right. No, wait, did I put too big of an Allen wrench in? Yeah, I did. Oh. Yeah. All right. There we go. So what am I doing with this? Am I going to drop this bolt and just pull the thing out? Could do that. Is that going to be the easiest? Oh no, that was the wrong size too. What's going on here? I need those ball-ended Allen wrenches. Oh, what in the world? This is the wrong size too? Okay, it looks like this might be like a standard or something. Crap. All right. This is going to take me a little bit. So You know, this thing might not have come with enough Allen wrenches. Maybe it's a in-between size. Let me... Some other Allen wrenches in here. I really need to get myself those ball-ended Allen wrenches. Yeah, see, this one works. With the ball-ended ones, you can kind of get them out at any angle. And see, this is just loose enough that it's just a complete pain in the butt to get to. Real. I can't really grab it. I might actually be just faster to grab with the pliers. No, maybe not. Lame. It's just the right size to make trouble. Like if it's any shorter, or if the Allen wrench is any shorter, or like I keep saying, if I had ball-ended Allen wrenches. See, does this say what it is? Hey, you know, Poo Ninja, you can feel free to share. You know, we're going to be doing a lot more roundtables, like myth busting stuff with Ethan Weiner. I'm going to be doing some with Glenn. We got at least 2 more episodes with Glenn, but I'm really trying to get in gurus from all sorts of subjects. I think T Jump, if you're out there, in fact, let me. I'm gonna tag you, T Jump, because I'm just gonna say that. Oh, is this not? Is this really not broadcasting? Hold on. Evidence-based audio, AIX DSP, and me. Well, I'm just gonna I'm gonna tag T Jump real quick. And is the audio working? No, Poo Ninja, you can feel free to share. It is. You know, we're gonna be doing a lot more roundtable. Quick. Jeez. Okay. Thank you. T Jump. Okay, and the reason I'm tagging this guy, I'm really trying, is that we're going to have our own epistemologist on here. This guy likes philosophy and all that stuff, but it's really good at checking whether or not we're doing the logic right. And I don't mean logic the DA, I mean logic as in critical thinking and everything. This is the guy to school us on it. You know, a lot of things really fallacies, you know, oftentimes asking the wrong questions or being given the wrong answers, but so many times the arguments given, you call it a non sequitur, right? The argument given can't actually get you to where you want to go, even if it was true. And that's why we try and knock the fallacious arguments out as quick as possible. So here we go. Now this thing is meant to be used with 3 springs. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to do this. And the other part is I don't know how... Okay, it looks like there's always going to be a certain length where these are up against the edge. Let me see. Just trying to set this thing so that it's even. The trouble with this one compared to the regular back box is that these are 2 separate pieces, right? So you got to get this the same. Well, first of all, I got to take off this holds. I think I have a drill somewhere. So I have the other version that looks like the ESP one with the ball bearings, but it's one of those Amazon things where it says it's coming one day and then it just keeps changing what day that is. And so now it looks like it could be in August sometime. So I can just use the outer ones with I play 8s. So yeah, it might not need much. I only use 2 springs even on my 7 strings. So we'll see. I'm going to take off this thing and I'm going to try using beeswax like they're saying. So I'm taking off the Velcro. Hoping I don't have to pop the tremolo out for this, but I might have to. The big bitch is that I don't think this will go the way I had it, where I was putting it across. Let me get this out of the way first. Doing too many things at once. I think I might have to pull the tremolo, actually. Get this out. I have no idea how I got it in there. I suppose this can be pretty damn hard to get beeswax in there once the thing's already in. I mean, I could put it on either thing. So the critical part of this is that the tremolo needs to be at rest. So I'm gonna have to roughly get that in tune, I suppose. I don't think that you'll be able to do like that kind of arrow configuration. So if this thing was up against the tremolo here, and I did the arrow like I was, yeah, that's not gonna work. I could use 3 springs, or I could just let's see if 2 springs in the regular straight shape will work. Okay, here we go. It's gonna be my first use of this spring holder. Spring-a-majig. Oh, I don't know how to release it. Crap. I mean, that pulls the spring just fine, but if I can't let go of it, that's not doing me any good. Do I do it like that? Is it underneath? Is that the trick? Oh, it doesn't seem to work either. Shoot. You guys know a trick for this? Oh, just as likely to smash my fingers. There's got to be a way to do this. Well, it's gonna be old-fashioned fingers, and I'm gonna bust them. Yeah, I think it's time for one of those scaler, whatever, surecloth things. Bar in. Ooh. I need a way more secure. Oh, Jesus. I need a way more secure guitar thing. Okay, there's one. There's the other spring. So I might need 3 springs. We'll see. Well, that's a bummer. The spring thing didn't seem to work for me, but maybe I just need to modify it a little bit. Okay, so I have to get this pretty much in tune so that I know where... Well, actually, I just need to get it flat, but I may as well do it in tune. It's pretty close already. Oh, might need to, yeah, so I'm gonna let the spring out just the tiniest bit. Wait, that's interesting. Wait a second. How could the springs be pulling too hard when I'm not making as much tension? Maybe I cranked them down to make it work with the dive block thingy, and that's where it's going to be critical. Like I don't know exactly how this is going to work. We're gonna I forget the theory of operation of this thing exactly. So let me get the. There we go. Okay, so I'm starting to have to tune up. All right, and if anybody out there knows one of those like constantly race baiting lawyers or whatever, I am entertaining the idea of taking the Waikiki police to court for discrimination or violating my civil rights or something. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I got picked out. It was kind of obvious. There was a lot of people doing the exact same thing I was all around me, but I was the only one who looked like me. I was the only brown person, and I was the only man. I hate to sound like an SJW, but I was the only brown person. And I wasn't a tourist. I was a local. So I think I kind of want to entertain this notion. You know, I hate, you know how much I don't like whiners, but one thing I'd like a lot less is dirty pigs. Dirty cops just ruin everything for everybody and just need to get removed. We got this real piece of work here who constantly just doing race baiting nonsense, but he's probably the perfect guy for this, so thinking about it. Yeah, Tremolo's pretty flat. Tuning looks pretty good. It's not perfect. I suppose I should get it pretty damn straight so I can know exactly what's going on. Even though I suspect that we're going to be cranking the springs into this thing a little bit. And this is why I went back to dive only. Like, this is the pain with the Floyd Roses. They're just floating all over the place, and getting them set can be a nightmare. I'm really thinking that getting this in the exact right spot before I even start is gonna help. So, you know, for years I've been running trem setters way back in the day, until the early 2000s actually. This one of these saddles feels really low. Wonder. So I'm keeping looking at this tremolo to see if it's dumping too much. Which tuners don't you like? Are you talking about the tremolo? Well, that's the thing. We're going to be trying this guy out in there. I usually just set him to dive only. With something like this. Or something bigger. Alright, so I'm figuring I want to get these as close to flat. I might do the springs a little bit. I'm going to bring them in a tiny bit. I might have pulled them out a little bit too far. So I'm just turning them like the tiniest bit, like an eighth of a turn. You know what? Let me mirror the tuner so you guys can see what's going on here. Can you does Helix Native's tuner actually show, or not Helix Native, HX Edit? Does it show the tuner on the thing? Please tell me it shows the tuner. I don't see a tuner. Oh, that's lame. Okay, let's go to I think I can probably do it from Reaper. Let's see. Oh, you guys aren't allowed to see this. Woo! Product that's coming out pretty soon, but not quite out yet. retune. And I thought I had a yeah, there we go. Thought I had a thingamabobber showing. Let's see, dynamic EQ background, blue tunable transit. I think I had a picture. Yeah, I'll just drop the I'll just drop this in the right monitor for now. Right monitor on. Okay, so here's my tuner. So I'm gonna. I need more bigger window. Yeah, sorry about this initial part, but I have a feeling that I really want to have this thing set straight before I even do any of this. Okay, so I'm keeping an eye, like I said, on the side of this bar. Get out of here. Get back to I'm keeping an eye on how flat the what do you call it, the fulcrum, whatever the base plate is. I think I'm gonna actually tighten this up a little bit more. I'm gonna put a little bit more in the springs. Yeah, that scalar Sureclaw whatever thing is looking real good to me right now. But again, that's just another thing where everything's out of stock. So good luck. All right, that's it. I'm gonna have to do something to keep this tremolo from dumping when I flip this over. So let's see if I have something to stick under there. Man, I still need to eat. I'm starving. All right, but we're gonna get some stuff figured out. I was hoping to see a video on the installation for this thing, but maybe not. Really don't want this to move much. It might. It seems to be pretty stable. So I really think that I'm putting this on here like this. So I want to make sure these are even. I'm really not sure how this works, so if I can get the collar up against the edge so there's no gap here, I think that's going to be the best. And I think they might have some instructions. So let's see. It was all in Chinglish, but okay. Let's backstop. How about arming adjuster? Maybe one of these things will have it. Really want the dual one, but oh wow, my video came up. Ah. ESP arming adjuster installation. Yeah, see, I bought one of these too. Arming adjuster. So this is going to be the single one, but it's going to be pretty close.
All right, guitar addicts, it's time to install this
Hopefully I don't
ESP
get
arming
DMCA'd.
device.
Okay, this is ESP arming device, unboxing and install Fender Squire Strat standard something number 13, addicted to guitar. This is by Addicted to Guitar, so I'll try and get a link up to him. Hopefully I don't get DMCA'd here, and let's take a look. All right. Here we go again. Now, I suppose since I'm playing this thing, we may as well just let this thing play, so the guy gets to see him play.
Subscribe and help support. All right, so I'm going to install this. I've got a whole video of me doing that, and then when we come back, I'm going to show you if it works or not. All right. That you're supposed to put against the block. I'm going to save that one for the EVH.
Yeah, see, those
and I'm
ones
just going to
with
put
felts.
a regular little felt pad that I've got for like furniture on there. All right, so here are the screws. I don't want to get too close to the camera because I don't know if it'll autofocus. But basically 4 little screws and the felt pad. And then it's got instructions. It's it's basically instructions.
Oh yeah,
in
it's a
Japanese, so
mirror.
there you go.
Mirror. That's why it's looking
Very
backwards.
cool in that it seems like it was designed for the Japanese market, and people say that the Japanese market gets the cool things. At this point, I kind of believe it. If you ever watch Trojley, right? That's how you pronounce it. Trojley's channel. He is pretty certain that the Japanese market gets the really cool guitars because they seem to spend more money on high-end and collectible things. So this is it. Basically, we're going to go by the diagram, and I've seen a couple videos on this guy. And it's the videos and this diagram basically show you what I think I have figured out. Now, if you take a look back here, it seems like we're going to have to realign the springs. And I've got them set up in a 3 middle fashion. So what this is going to do here, looks like it wants us to put 2 on one. Easier than working with. Would change it a little bit, but no. Now somebody told me you gotta have it the spring all the way tightened. When you set it up. And then as you release the spring is when you get more play with it. And then we're just going to screw it in right there. I've got the little hole there for the grounding wire, so I don't want to hit that one too hard, so I may end up putting it there and then just taking some of the off that spring and just putting it on there. Okay, so that's where it's going to go about. And the felt pads. The felt pads basically go against the block here to keep the metal on metal from making a sound. So I'm going to get a little felt pad for that, and I'm going to start doing this. So I'm going to place a piece of masking tape down here.
So really, is the felt, is the bead
and that's going to give
wax
me
going to work as good as the
something
felt?
to be able
I don't
to
think so. I'll
put
see.
a little mark on with the pencil. Make sure it
Yeah, I'd
sticks
like
well.
a smaller
All right. I
screwdriver.
get my sharp pencil here. Just gonna get through here. Yeah. Okay, so basically I want it right there.
Ooh. And there's a screw hole really close to where.
All right, I've got my 2 spots. I'm
this
gonna take
thing.
this spring off now.
So I'm gonna mark. I'll mark this guy. And I'm not using the center spring. If I have to, I might need to really move this. I might have this in the wrong place. Should really be using a drill bit for this, but let's see what we can do. This thing was using much bigger screws, I think. Oh yeah, this sucks. Hold on, let me find. Where's my normal guitar screwdriver set? No idea. Sorry, so much comes in and out of here so fast that it's just unreal. I'm a little worried about how close one of these screw holes is. Might just take a drill bit out. And I do have a punch someplace. Where did I put my punch? Maybe that's what I should use. I can just mark this. It sucks how close this is to another hole. I could put it in that other hole and move the tremolo up a little bit, but I'd rather not. Let's see. Let's see how bad it is if I try and put it in there. Ooh. I mean, I could just tune the guitar to that. Let's see. I think I really need to use a drill bit on here. Check real quick with the tuner to see how far that pushes the guitar up. Ah. Ooh. Well, okay. Not exactly cool. Well, not true. I could do it this way. So I don't know if these things are really supposed to be flush. if it's supposed to be flush, let me take a look at. I'm gonna watch more of this video. I'm not really sure. This is not ending up exactly where I want it to, and I might be doing something wrong.
I got my drill bit. I got the smallest bit I can find. These screws are not much bigger than the bit, so I'm not going to do an entire pilot hole. And either way, this wood is not going to be that thick, and I'm going to end up in the cavity anyway, so you don't want to go too deep and mess up your pickups. So I've got it marked off to where I just want to get the start of a pilot hole in there. And this screw, I'm going to say probably a quarter of it is going to end up with metal anyway. So I think once I finally measure everything up, that's about what I want. So when you're drilling into guitars, I know it's scary, but you just want to do it with confidence. But you want to be gentle, and you want to be thoughtful about it. Because once you make a mistake, it's hard to come back from it. But I've got my markings set, and I've checked it 2 or 3 times. And that's very important. You want to check, check, and recheck, because you're only going to get one shot at drilling the holes. But I'm pretty sure that's where I want it. So we're going to start. Now, typically, it's not a bad idea to give yourself a pilot hole, just so the drill bit doesn't spin and you get it exactly where you want it. So I'm going to do that now. Straight. So is screw it in. This is a small Phillips.
You know, he hasn't really.
I think this screwdriver will work. All right, so let's do it. Let's do it.
He hasn't really said anything about
it.
making that thing the way you adjust
We're
that.
gonna
So.
screw it.
He's just putting it in kind of willy-nilly. Looks like.
And again, when you're screwing a screw into wood, you want to be gentle, because if you strip the threads, or you mess up. Okay, we'll come back for that one. If you basically strip it and you mess up the wood, you can't really remake the hole. Man, this is actually not as easy as I thought it was going to be. Having a problem getting it in the hole. See, there's another penis joke there. There we go. So I'm not going to tighten them all down until I've got all 4 in the wood.
Not really sure about this. Let me look. See, all of these show the thing like flush up against the bar. Almost ready to run over to Napa and grab some more drill bits. So I could reorient the guitar so that that's tuned with the bar. Yeah, bar's up way too much. My sticks. Let's see if there's some instructions. There's got to be better instructions out there. Let's see if we can find them. Let's watch this one real quick. This guy throttled, or is my internet dead?
All right, let's go
Yeah,
over
see, he's
the
right up against the
installation
edge, too.
process.
Wow, why is this throttled? See, maybe the back box is coming similar.
Box Tremolo Stabilizer using still photographs taken while I was doing mine.
Yes, this one
In my
doesn't
two
hit the edge the
guitars,
way
a
that.
Squire Affinity strap with a 6-point old style tremolo and a Dean Zielinski Tagliari with a classic 2-post tremolo. Most of the pictures are of the Squire. The first thing to do is to remove the guitar's backplate. This is easy.
You have it in drop D mode.
By adjusting it back forward this way, it'll start giving you tension both ways, and you can just kind of get it to where you like palm mutes. And put that on there and set it in there as squarely as possible. Then I'm going to take my little poker here and just kind of mark the place where my holes are going to be.
It looks different.
So that we can take a drill. These ones are going to be difficult because I'm right on that ledge.
Oh,
We're going to take a drill and drill some pilot holes for our screws. That way we don't split anything. Right, people? Lift this up just to make sure.
might go get some drill bits from
There's
Napa.
no pressure on the trim from the guitar laying on the pillow, you know.
I think this is a little bit different. Like the way
Push this in.
this one works is
and
just
while
seems a little
this
bit.
starts to move,
There's like a collar that's in the way. It's not like the rest of these where it goes through.
because you just want it to. You want this thing to stop your trim block when it is perfectly level on the other side. Moment of truth. Marks. Well. Yeah, well, those ones aren't going to work. What I'm going to do is screw in these back ones first. And then I'll kind of mark right here on this ledge. And I'm going to have to file out little grooves. Because the screws are actually hitting the edge of this stupid ledge I got in here. So I'm going to have to file grooves for the screws to go into and then down to this ledge where they're actually going to screw in down here. So I'm going to do all that shit. I'll be back. Okay, so it's installed.
I think I better go get some drill bits.
So a couple little things to note. The little felt pad that they give you. Don't put that on until after you have it installed. That is one of the things old Leo advised me on. That was one of my questions that I had that wasn't really covered in any
Interesting.
video that I could find. So what I found too is this little piece right here at the end, this little brass piece that actually goes up against your trem block. It's adjustable. You can actually turn it out. So when you get all your guitar set up and tuned and whatnot, after you install this, it's probably going to push your bridge a little bit. So if you leave some room on the threads for this thing to go both ways, then you can kind of actually globally tune all your strings a little bit to get it fine-tuned and set in place. So so that is that. Another little hack I'm going to do is I'm going to silence my springs. Now, I was going to do that by sticking some rubber down inside these springs, but it doesn't really want to fit because these are actually kind of narrower springs than normal springs that you see. So what I'm going to do is get some foam and put it underneath my spring. Boom, to drop D. Low E out of the saddle because I probably didn't have it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's a little bit different than the rest of them. So let's see if he has any installation. It's different. Like this one has this weird block that hits. All right. Sorry, there's gonna be a brief intermission. I'm gonna go grab some. I'm gonna grab drill bits from Napa right next. I'll be right back.
Just so we can settle it in and make sure everybody's straight. We've got the one more to pull out. There's the screw. We've got it. Let's do this. We're doing it. I know this is exciting. You're watching me put screws in a piece of wood. You know you're a guitar addict when you're watching me do this. And I know I'm a guitar addict because I've watched several videos of other guys doing this just to make sure I did it correctly. So it appears we are all addicted to guitar. Ah, there you go. I even got the name in there. And we're going to put this little felt pad there. I'm going to snip it because in reality it does not have to be that big. Okay. There we go. Just going to release the spring a little bit because that's going to allow this to move back. Because we want to be able to pull back. That's the whole idea that we've got the floating tremolo. So we always want the option to pull back. Now this is when it gets a little hard. We're trying to reattach these springs. So we're going to put our fabric down, so I don't want to scratch the guitar. When you're doing this, you want to make sure that you've got a good hold on it. Because see, it wants to move on you. There you go. I'll just give it a little tap. Tappy tap tap. Okay. That's it. Let's get a picture for posterior. All right, that is pretty cool. So, can you see it? Putting resistance on the tremolo. See it working? You can adjust the tension there. So, I'm going to tune it up, get the spring tension right, and then the key to whether this is working or not is whether I can down tune and the tremolo will stay in its spot and all the other strings will stay in tune, because that's what I wanted to do on the D tuner. So I'm going to save you guys the time of watching that. I'm going to get it all set up and then we'll get a shot of it in the studio and I'll play it and we'll check it out. We'll see if it works. I'm really excited. The internet said this is the best one, and you know the internet doesn't lie. I know that's the joke, right? And hopefully they didn't lie about this. All right, my guitar addicts, we've got it installed. This is it here in the back. Now, why do I need this? Well, I've got the EVH Wolfgang Special with the D tuner, and in order to use the D tuner, you need to stabilize your tremolo, and there's two ways to do that. You can either let the tremolo rest on the body, and that way when you activate the D tuner and it releases the tension, everybody else doesn't go out of tune. Now, in order to have a floating tremolo and be able to do that, you need some sort of tremolo stabilizer. There's a lot on the market. You can just get the regular little L bracket that keeps the tremolo from going back, but I like to be able to go back just a little bit. So there was a couple devices you could do that with. There was the hip shot trem setter. There was this ESP arming device. There's the Tremolo No, which I believe gives you 3 different options to stabilize it, but I don't know if it has a spring in it and lets you do all 3 at the same time. But I think I'm going to look into the Tremolo No, so stay tuned because I'm probably going to do a special on that one. And then there was this one. Everybody said that the Ibanez one that did this was the best one on the market, but they don't sell it anymore. So this one is the next best one. So I've got it installed, and I want to show you what it does before I tell you if I like it or not. So I'm going to turn down some of the gain here. All right, so this is it now. Basically, I'm tuned to E, right? Now, this guitar, being a Fender guitar, has its own set of tuning issues, so that aside, check this out. So I'm going to tune it down to D now.
Okay, I got myself a drill bit, so let's see.
Alright, so I've got it tuned to D. So that's basically what the D tuner would have done when you activated it. Released the tension on the E string. Let's see.
Alright, see, so I don't know if you can see this. This one works differently than let's see if I can fix this white balance. So that is the webcam. Ooh, that's sorry about that. This is big room webcam. Okay. Video brightness on auto. Why can't I change that to auto? White balance on auto seems to be working. Camera control. Let me. Okay, well, sorry. So this one, unlike the other ones, there's this collar right here that doesn't go through. It stops when it hits this end. I'm actually wondering if this thing will actually work the way the rest of them were. If this is just like, we've seen some bad Chinese copies. Like, there's some mics out there where you can't even put the mic clips on. You won't be able to plug the mic cable in if you put the mic clip on. That's how bad they often do this stuff. So there's maybe some tricks involved. I'll put some holes in here. I think in order to solve my problem about the thing being in the wrong spot, I'm just gonna drill a new hole further up. Alright, so and I'm still a little bit confused on how these things worked. I never really got it back in the day. Like, it took me forever to figure out how a gyro works. So there you go. That'll tell you a little bit about me. Not the sharpest tool in the shed on a lot of this stuff. I don't know if I should drill this out a little bit better, if this should be enough of a hole. Oh man, it's a pain in the butt. I think maybe I can use a slightly bigger drill bit. I don't want it loose though, man. That'd be the worst. Boy, no, that looks way too close. Okay, so I'm just gonna. Oh, it's hard to get these screws in here. I'm gonna preload them if I can. Uh, Nothing I have seems to be magnetic. Eh. Come on. A pain. All right. Wow, come on. You gotta be kidding me. Wow. This is being amazingly difficult. Almost about to tape this thing in. Wait, did your screws you guys sent not fit through the holes? That's the other thing about when you buy this kind of stuff. Like sometimes, I'm gonna take it apart. Let's see. Can I just take it apart? On the plus side, I'm gonna have a much better idea of how this thing works in a second. Okay, so I'm just gonna take one side out here. Oh, that's a long screw. Now, don't be surprised when you buy Chinese stuff if it's made this badly. The screw doesn't fit through here. But it's brass, so I'm probably going to be able to work it through there. But you know, we need this thing to sit flush, so I can't really... This is a little whack there. Li Jinping, whatever guy you are. Xi Jinping. So I'm just preloading these screws in here. Worked about as good as you think it would, which is not very. I suppose you really should set this back even farther, but we'll see how this goes. I mean, in all honesty, we're probably just going to end up putting the dive only back in, but if I can do this, this will be cool. It's not going in anywhere near straight. What's going on? This out a little bit better. I want to hit a pickup or something. And it needs to be tight. That's why I'm a little bit hesitant on putting the next bigger size in. I could have spent another $3 and got them a little bit closer together, but let's see how this goes. Hopefully this ain't too big. Yeah, this. I'm just gonna take this out and drill this. Pull out a little bit. Not cool. Not cool. It should not be this tight. I don't think. I might be screwing something up by drilling it out, but I don't think so. It's too small. I don't want to make it big and loose, though. That would be bad. Let's see if this 8 is just the right size. Nice thing about brass, it is very forgiving. Is it a bad idea for me to have this apart? Because I don't think I'm going to be able to get these parts back in. Yeah, I'm gonna get these. I gotta get the screws in now. Much better. Much better. Let's get the other one in. Okay, so I'm gonna put this thing back together because I won't be able to later, I don't think. There's some See, I remember the back box. It didn't hit the way this thing hits. I'm not sure that I want this to hit. I might actually be doing this wrong by putting it too close. Really, we'll find out after. I mean, I can always drill and retap these holes if I have to, but tighten this up all the way. Oh, which was a dumb idea because now I can't get the spring in. Okay. The thing is, if Steve Vai's using this thing, that gives me a lot more confidence. I wouldn't think he did. He does so much tremolo work. And I thought that these things really stopped you from being able to do most of that stuff. So I'm really surprised that he's got this on his guitar. That's very, very crazy to me. If I bring this out, yeah, I'm really trying to understand how this works. If I really should have it as close to the edge as I have it or not. Might be too stupidly close, but really not finding any good instructions right now, but I'm not looking all that hard. So maybe they're out there and I'm just missing them. I really think I probably should have just backed this thing up even more. Like, I really don't understand how... I'm not sure I understand how this works correctly. Let's see, hopefully I can get a screw in there. Where's my, I just bought one of those T-handle things finally after all these years. And of course, try underneath some, oh, here it is right here. Okay. So if I have a sharp enough screwdriver tip for it. Oh, shoot. Dang it. Come on, seriously. I think this is pushing up against the tremolo. I'm probably doing this really badly. Now it's starting to bite. Okay. I'm going to drill another hole. See, it's a little bit off to the side. I don't know if I'd be able to throw a third spring in there if I had to. Ooh, that's a lot of metal shrapnel. Huh. I probably just breathed it in. I'm gonna die. Good. See you guys later. Okay, where's my last screw? Where'd that bit come from? This thing's just leaking drill bits now. I go buy some. Oh, there it is. It was. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm messing up the theory of operation here. Would have been nice to have instructions. Oh, crap. That is not biting at all. Dang it. Well, that was a fail. Try putting one of these bigger screws in. Shoot. Oops. Big oops. Big fat oops. So I think the way this is supposed to work. These springs here are pushing up against this rod to keep the tremolo from dumping back any further. And then you're going to use spring tension to pull it up against here so that the tremolo won't dump forward any. So let's take a look here. Now there is a... Oh, they're not even. Great. Yeah, I may really have this in the wrong place. It's not quite reaching. It's just kind of, I don't know if you can see, it ended up kind of, oh my God, sorry. Oops. Shoot. screws. Shoot. Just screwed up big time. So this thing really ended up sideways. And I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. This screw, kind of weird. Yeah, shoot. Can I... Let me see if I can knock this to the side a little bit. Not that I want it to be able to move easy, because that would kind of defeat the purpose of it. I can see some massive design benefits of the other style, the one that I'm waiting on still. The way these screws go in, you actually got room to maneuver this stuff without the springs and stuff being in the way. I think that one looked like there was, the way the bolts were laid out was a lot easier to put it on. Get to the screws. Like, this is ridiculous, man. I can't even turn these springs right in the way. So it's a little straighter. I don't think they're both hitting though. Yeah, see, that's going to be the fiddly part. Like, how do I... Is that how you do it? So I think the way this works, sorry. Turn this back. This spring pushes up against these bars here. So when the tremolo tries to dump forward, it's not really going to let it. And then you would change this to adjust how much tension there really is on there. Because you could crank those springs down. Actually, so I can't bring this any further down. I could move it out if I had to. So this one's, yeah, this is not adjusted right. Okay. So I'll just check tuning real quick. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and this may not be the right thing, but I'm going to preload these springs by moving the claw in. And there should be enough pressure on this thing that it's going to still push up against here and not start pulling through. Yeah, it's still not even hitting. I don't want to make my tremolo too tight either. Man, there's a clack that it's doing here that I don't think it'll do on the other version. Because this one's like, it's weird. It slams up against the little wall, whereas the other version I don't think does. We'll find out. So I'm not going to order any more of these until I get the other one. But it's this is actually already working pretty damn good. So the trick is going to be, I got to get these things adjusted the same, and I'm not really sure how that's going to work. So, if I loosen this one on the outside, That means more of the rod can go in here, but I need this to hit as soon as possible. So if I turn this one, does that make it longer? Because I can pull on it and it clacks. I don't like that. If I pull on it, it should just stop. And I wonder if I need to get them exactly the same, or if it's just something where I need to just put that felt back on. Because see, is there a way to make this one shorter? I don't think so. This one's too long, this one's too short. So how do I push this up against there? So what is this? This doesn't do any good. It's like the spot where this is going to be is not adjustable. Or is there a way to pull this in? I really need to spin this rod is what I need to do. See, it hits this one first because of this tilt. How do I get these exactly the same? This would be how to lengthen it. So if I tighten this one, what does that do? Oh, it pulls the whole thing in. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to adjust these back out all the way. So yeah, this is really weird how this one hits compared to the other. The back box didn't. I'm not sure how it would work if it doesn't hit. I'll consider that later. So let's see what we can do about this beeswax. Beeswax. I need a flathead screwdriver. So I'm thinking a prime location for this stuff is right here. Is this clack that happens? Almost want to melt it in there. Well, I do got that cleaner wax stuff. So you really want to put it in here. And some of this clunking if I can, but I don't know if I'll be able to. The other clunk is going to be caused by it hitting the tremolo bar, which that also could use some beeswax on. But I think that I'm probably just going to put that Velcro, the soft side of the Velcro back on there. That works really well. I don't know if it's too wiggly. This wax might actually make it worse. You know what I could put on is some chain wax, right? That's like the bike style. That might be the way to go. In fact, I'm gonna go do that right now. I'm gonna grab some. I just got some ceramic chain wax that should be exactly perfect for this, actually. Grab it out of my car. So right back. Oh, if I can find my keys and my slippers. All right, this may or may not work. May not even matter. It's just chain wax. It's like a lubricant for a bike chain, but it dries. It's like a dry lube. Actually, we've been having a little bit of a talk lately about what's dry and what's not, which is kind of cool. So, oh man, it just got it everywhere. So I wonder if I just use that feed and wax stuff that's on the. If I should just use that instead. No. Good question. See, what is that? When I pull back on it, I'm really getting some weirdness. I have a feeling I should have both of these offset away from the edge just a little bit. I think I'm going to do that. If I do that, it's going to change the tuning a little. But the reason I want to do that is so that I don't have that first clunk when it's coming off of that bar. See, there's no clunk now. The trouble is now the guitar is going to be in a much different tuning. That is almost too far back. All right, so I'm going to get this just a little bit less than that. Really, I just want it so it's not touching at the beginning. So then when I hit, where do I want that? We'll find out. So in order to make this work, I'm going to have to change the tuning a little bit. Pull the springs down. And I do have room to do that, so let me do that right. I'm going to tighten the springs into the bar a little bit, or into the locky thing, whatever you call it. Almost touching it. I really think I'm going to have to put the Velcro on here. So I can hear this thing clicking along. I almost want to get some Loctite and stick that in there. I think that might be part of what would really make this work well. Let's see. Okay, so I definitely want to put some of that. I'm gonna put the Velcro on right now because I think I don't trust the wax. Everybody else use the Velcro. I'm sure it works. And not the argument for popularity, but I feel pretty confident in that one. Soft side of the Velcro, and very big. It's only tiny. We need the tiniest bit. Just had some new scissors, some really good ones. Where'd they go? Oh, sorry, this is so unorganized. Oh, it is. That should do. Well, this neck cradle is really not doing well for me. And I really should dry this out because otherwise I don't think this is going to stick. Wax is notorious for making stuff not stick, right? Makes your feet to stick to a surfboard and nothing else at all stick ever to anything. Tip. I have a feeling this is going to be so fiddly that I'm really not going to want to deal with it. I'm probably gonna go to dive only. But it does really intrigue me that Steve Vai uses this thing, or the similar one anyway. Very interesting to me. Like I say, I really would have thought that it would be too restrictive for him. And the way everybody talks about these things, for sure, he's not going to want it. And yet you see him playing it and looks perfectly happy with it. So I got a lot of this chain wax stuff in here. I don't want to wreck my guitar somehow. I don't know if it's bad for it in there or what. Probably not. But for the part that needs to stick, alcohol it with a Q-tip. Oh, damn it. Still smells like chain wax, though. I'm pouring water into a guitar. That's not good. It is alcohol, so it'll mostly dry off, but try and get drag in there as quick as possible. And if this falls off, it falls off. I got plenty more. And this may not, it's not as, the one that they include with these things is pretty flat. So this is probably not ideal, but I think it should work okay. Now I am using the spring pressure of this thing to kind of set the tremolo bar, which is maybe a bad thing. So maybe I'm not as much in control of the where this is as I was. Oh boy, this I get some of this chain wax on one of these picks. Sure how bad this has gone through the guitars. Clean it up a little bit. Okay. Okay. So. Look at this tuner down here. So I think I've got contact with the guitar, and what I want to see is both adjusters moving at the same speed, or at the same time. So I'm gonna unlock my my lock nut and start using the actual tuners on the guitar. I think everything's where I want it to be. Like I say, I keep thinking I'm just gonna go back to dive only, but at the same time, knowing Steve Vai has this, and knowing the kind of crazy tremolo stuff he does, might be okay. So. And so this is probably going to move away from those bars. I might have to tighten the springs down a little bit. One of the important things is where is the tremolo sitting? It's a little bit far forward still. I'd kind of like to bring these bars back a little bit. It's not bad yet, but it's approaching there. Make these shorter somehow. So one of the things you're looking at with these, when you have it dive only, if you have your springs really tight, you can make it so you can, so the tremolo won't move so much when you bend. But that's not as important to me as it used to be, I don't think. I went for about 2 years, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, with a completely floating Floyd, and I didn't mind the bending so much. I think maybe because I always keep my hand on there anyway. Now see, I can hear that clunking. I really want to put something in there to keep it from clicking and popping, but I'm not sure that it matters on me. Okay, everything's sharp now. So I'm just trying to have a look at just how much preload there is here. There's not much. Pretty much as flat as I'd like it. Now everything's sharp, and I'm wondering why. Do I loosen the strings a little bit and let it come out of there, or I almost feel like locking it back up already. Let me see. Now I suppose if I make the springs super short, I can really put a lot of back pressure on here. Because you just saw that video where the guy did the he dropped D with one of these things on, and that's pretty incredible, because that's That's a lot of tension change to be holding. So that must mean, you know, it must be that much harder to push the tremolo, but... Okay, well, I like where the tremolo's sitting, and so I'm gonna lock the fine tuner, lock the lock nuts back up. And I'm gonna sit on this for a while before I go and change anything else, you know, but it's actually more pleasant than even just the dive only with the locking on there. Yeah, I'm not thrilled about that clicking noise, but I doubt I have this adjusted anywhere near right, but it sure seems to be working well. The trick is really going to be making sure that the two back pieces are the same length. And I suppose I can make these springs a lot tighter for the up pull, and it's not a bad idea. So let me see, how would I do that? So I don't want, I think I understand how, but afraid I'm going to throw the balance off. And I really think this thing might need some Loctite. Oh yeah, it's pretty damn firm when I press on it now. I almost want to put this Velcro against these front ones too. Well, that's probably a really bad idea, but man, it would sure get rid of that noise. Now, I don't know if I should tighten the tremolo spring down a lot and preload this thing. But probably be a little bit more stable. I need to make this one longer. Yeah, that single one sure seems a lot easier now compared to this to me. Alright, I have a problem that I can actually see. The whole unit is moving around. I thought I had it tight, but I guess I don't. So I'm going to have to crank down on this a little bit more. I'm just going to tighten the thing in. Boy, one of these feels like a really loose. I might have to re-tap another hole. Boy, some instructions would be nice, huh? Okay, so don't let me drill that big rod next time. That's not the way to do it. All right, I think this thing is really moving around. I'm gonna try throwing one of the small screws in that back hole where I didn't want it because it was pressing it out too far, but I don't think I have a choice. Just going to push the back out too far? It might. I suppose I could tap another hole. So see if this changed the tuning a bunch. Might have pushed it up. Springs a tiny bit. I don't mind sort of tight springs, just you know, I normally want to feel this super solid clunk, but I really think this thing's staying in tune. It is pretty hard to pull up on. I wonder just how loose I can have this these springs and have it still work well. Let's try to loosen them up a little bit. So it is pretty hard to pull up. See if this makes any difference. If I could get rid of the noise of this thing's clunking up against the the bar, huh? I wonder. This is an application where beeswax could really work well, but I bet you that Velcro would work even better. I don't know if you hear it, but when I use the tremolo, there's like this clack noise. Oh man, this is really scary to turn out because this was in the perfect spot before. So I could put chain wax in here. I could put Velcro. I only need the tiniest little bit of Velcro. Hold it too. You know what would be really good is some kind of plastic like tool dip. That's the ultimate stuff for right here. That would really shut this up. I mean, the soft Velcro will work, but it needs to stick to it. And or almost, if I stuck a little rubber O-ring. Oh yeah, that's it. If I put an O-ring on this thing, then I'm set. I might go to the hardware store. I'll be back later, you guys. I think I'm gonna go to the hardware store, get an O-ring, and I bet you I can make this work a lot better. I'm wondering if the other one. Let's just look at it real quick. So this is the one that's copying the ESP way more closely than the Ibanez. It looks chintzy though, doesn't it? Yeah, I don't see any O-rings on this one either. But you see how this one you'll be able to actually get the screws in. And see, it doesn't have a thing where it's going to slam up against it either. But I'm thinking I can put some O-rings on here and I'll be set. So I'll see you guys later.